They're just kids on an adventure. Like, they're good boys.
2.5 weeks ago, Friday, July 12th, Briar Schmigelski sent his dad a text. There was no hint anything was amiss. He said he and his friend Cam McLeod were headed into Alberta and that he'd be in touch. A day later, Australian Lucas Fowler and his American girlfriend China Deese stopped at this gas station in Fort Nelson, BC. The carefree couple on a road trip through Canada. But 2 days later, about 20 kilometers south of Liard Hot Springs, Fowler's blue van was spotted broken down on the side of a remote highway. Fowler and Deese were found nearby, shot dead. We still don't know the motive.
It's a love story that's ended tragically. It really is. It's the worst ever love story.
You know, Mom can only be as happy as her saddest child, and I have 3 broken kids.
Schmigelski and McLeod were still on the move. On Thursday, July 18th, they were north of Dease Lake, stopping for coffee at the Cassiar Mountain Jade store. But the next day, something went wrong. 50 kilometers south on Highway 37, McLeod and Schmigelski's truck was found abandoned, burning at the side of the road. About 2 kilometers away, UBC lecturer Leonard Dick was found murdered.
He loved the marine environment, and so he focused all his attention on that. But he also was really focused on his family.
3 violent killings and 2 missing men in a short time span raised fears of an active serial killer. But we'd soon learn McLeod and Schmigelski were not victims of crime. We now know 3 days later, Sunday, July 21st, the pair had made their way to northern Alberta. Their vehicle got stuck on a trail in the Cold Lake area, and police say a resident later recalled helping the men get back on the road. Later that same day, a short drive east, Schmigelski and McLeod were spotted in a store in Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan. By Monday, they were in northern Manitoba, spotted by First Nations police doing an unrelated roadside check. That night, their vehicle was found in flames.
We sat here for like 45 minutes before anyone even got here. They could have been sitting in a bush watching us.
The RCMP isn't confirming whether it had been stolen from Leonard Dick, but the next day, this dramatic announcement from the RCMP.
Cam and Briar are no longer considered missing. The RCMP are now considering Cam McLeod and Briar Schmigelski as suspects.
The RCMP manhunt moved through the forest near Gillam, a huge number of officers and equipment, but as far as we know, the search has not turned up any sign of the suspects. But late yesterday afternoon, that possible sighting, what police are calling a credible tip near York Landing.
Last night at approximately 5 p.m., the RCMP received a tip that 2 males matching the description of the wanted suspects were seen in York Landing, Manitoba. Based on the information received, the RCMP immediately deployed multiple resources to the community.
But tonight, the trail has gone cold. The suspects still at large. And it's been a week since the last solid lead. York Landing is more than 3.5 hours by car from Gillam. It's not easy to get to. You need a boat or take a ferry from the community of Split Lake. And communications like cell phones don't always work there. So for that reason, we've asked the CBC's Austin Grabish to remain in Split Lake tonight to help keep us up to speed. I spoke with him a little earlier this evening. Austin, you've been covering the search for a few days now, so we thought we'd get a sense of some of the challenges for police. Let's begin with the weather.
Well, Ian, the weather tonight is a lot nicer than it's been in recent days. Searchers have been having to go through heavy rain. It's been heavy torrential downpour for multiple days. Driving conditions have been really rough, and bugs have been really quite extreme up here in northern Manitoba as this manhunt continues. Things seem to be turning around tonight. I'm in a shirt tonight. It's warm where we're standing in Split Lake, but that's certainly not been the case in the Gillam area.
Okay, let's talk about the bugs. Lots of Canadians have stories about bugs, but you say it's particularly bad up there.
It's the worst I've ever seen, and I'm from Manitoba. You know, last night when we were at the airport and it was raining and windy, and you know, in recent days the bugs were so bad that we'd look up and it seemed like there'd be like 10,000 bugs above you, and we'd see these RCMP officers going into the woods wearing mosquito nets around their faces. Even if you put on bug spray, and like the good kind, the heavy duty kind, the bugs would still swarm you. So you got to wonder if these guys are still out there, how they're coping with those bugs up here in northern Manitoba.
So they may be out there. The suspects may also be, you know, just outside one of the communities there. And how are the residents coping?
Yeah, you know, the residents around here have given us a consistent message in every community we've gone to. Tonight we're in Split Lake. It's the first day we've been here, but we've spent most of our time in Gillam and in Split Lake today. The police being here was a new scene for residents. They're not used to that. It's a quiet northern Manitoba community. People here are very friendly, and when all of those police officers started coming through here to get to York Landing, which is just behind me, a ferry ride away behind me, it made people feel on edge. Take a listen to one resident.
Well, it's causing a lot of fear and anxiety, like with the people around here, and York Landing is so close to us. The only way to get there is through the ferry.
Austin, something you must have thought about. You look on a map, and it just doesn't make sense to me that two people running away from the law would end up almost basically at the end of the road in northern Manitoba. What's your view of that?
It's the question everyone wants to know up here is, why did these guys come here and what could have brought them here? You know, it's the talk of the town at the coffee shop in the morning. We were talking with residents the other day when we were door knocking, and one guy told me, you know, you don't come to Gillam for nothing. You come here if you know someone. And it really just has fueled a lot of speculation in the town. Could someone have helped them potentially? Could someone be helping them hiding? These are all possible scenarios that the RCMP continue to investigate, and it's really a question that everyone has. What brought them here?
And of course, the other scenario is maybe they're just on the run and weren't thinking and have run out of road. Nobody has those answers for now. Austin Gravish in Split Lake, Manitoba tonight. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.